Hello and welcome back to the Fleet Brothers podcast. I'm Aaron, and today I'm going to be doing a solo episode, just me and the camera, and I'm going to be talking about my experience getting into Turo and why I even got into Turo in the first place. So going way back to the beginning, I literally had no idea how to buy a used car. I didn't know what a title was. I didn't know how to register a car. Just had this beater car that I had gotten when I was in high school. My dad bought it for me. Luckily enough, I would just drive it around. My dad would do oil changes, and I was pretty pampered, I'm not gonna lie. But things have changed. I had this Volkswagen Jetta. It was a 2000 Volkswagen Jetta that I literally drove into the ground, and the last day of its life, it ended in a fire. I was out at the bars downtown Denver. My roommate, who was home at the time, gives me a call. He's like, "Hey, Aaron, you might want to come home. Your car's on fire." And so I'm like, "Oh no, that's so annoying." And I just come on home. The thing at that point, it probably could have sold for $500. But I come home and apparently there was something electrical in the behind the dashboard, and the thing just went up in flames. The whole neighborhood comes out. Everybody's just gathered around watching my car burn to the ground. The fire department came out. It was a whole thing. That led me to purchasing my first car. I go on Facebook, I'm searching around. I was just looking for something cool. I just wanted something that looked good, and I'm in Denver, so I just wanted to be able to go out to the mountains in the thing and have the thing look kind of badass. So it was this 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. The rims were blacked out, had a lift, had new tires. It was only $3,000. This is a steal. Let's go. I knew nothing about buying a car, so I end up going out there, seeing the car. It's got hail damage all over it, but hey, it still looked good. And so I was like, all right, let's just make this happen. Buy the thing from them. And I didn't know anything about titles or salvage cars. Now looking back on it, I know that it was a salvage car, which is a huge red flag, and I shouldn't have done it. But I go ahead and I buy the thing. I'm driving around for about a week, noticing that when I brake, the thing goes zoom, straight over to the right. It didn't drive well. I literally did not feel safe driving down the highway in this car. So I bring it to a shop, and they're like, "Have you bought this car already?" Because I essentially did a pre-purchase inspection after I bought a car. And he comes out with literally a scroll. These are all of your issues that the car has. And at the bottom of it is a nice little price tag of $9,000. I ordered a couple of the parts off of Amazon, and I tried to fix it myself. I'm definitely not a mechanic. I got the job done, so I replaced the tie rod in myself, learned how to do it. I literally went to some garage 20 minutes away from my house, had to go back and forth to my house, to the garage, to my house, to the garage, and start fixing the thing. So I finally get tie rod ends on it. The thing can drive. So I'm like, let's go. The next thing that I did was I built this really cool bed in the back of the car. I had just gotten done doing a road trip with my buddy Cooper, and we traveled the entire country in a van and had a full platform built out for a bed in that car. And I was like, I want that in any car. Why would I not want to be have a hotel on wheels? Tell my girlfriend hey, we're going up to Aspen. We're gonna go camp out at the Snowmass Village and just have the cheapest Aspen weekend ever. We're out there car camping in the parking lot, do a couple nights, and then on I think the third night, we're waking up. I go to start the car, and it goes dum 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 dum, just this terrible noise. And I was like, no, this can't be happening. The car literally won't start. It won't move. So I call my boss at the time. I'm like, "Hey, I'm not going to make it into work tomorrow. I'm stranded in Aspen." And she's like, "All right, whatever. Take the day, figure it out." We literally ended up staying another night. At this time, I didn't have any roadside assistance. So I call in to Geico, and I'm like, "Hey, I kind of want to just upgrade my upgrade my insurance, get roadside assistance, and get covered for any tows possibly." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, sounds good. Is there any issue with the car?" I'm like, No, I don't know what you're talking about. No issues." And they're like, "All right, cool. That's gonna kick in tomorrow." And then next day, car gets towed to a shop about 20 minutes away, and I remember getting a phone call from the mechanic, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not good." The engine's blown. And I'm like, no, Are you serious? I had this car for maybe 2 months. There goes my hotel room. There goes my car. We have so many of our belongings in that car, and we're 3.5 hours away from home. We end up pulling the trigger and actually got a hotel for the night. But the next morning, wake up and looked at all the bus schedules and everything. So mapped out the route to get home. It was going to take like 9 hours. So we end up going down to the hotel lobby, asking for like 5 trash bags, put all of our shit in it. Obviously, we're not going to carry the stuff all the way to the bus stop. So we end up stealing a hotel bell cart and putting all of our bags onto the bell cart, pushing it down the road. We looked homeless. So we finally get back and get picked up by my roommate. At this point, I have no car. I just spent $3,000. That went down the drain. I need to figure out how to buy a car and not have to pay for it, which is a crazy concept. But that's just me being super cheap and frugal. So I had previously heard about Turo. I start looking at like the nice bougie Jeeps, and I start asking people who are currently renting their cars on Turo, like, hey, what do I look for? What do I do here? What do you recommend here? And I just start asking every single question I possibly can. And I really wanted to make an educated purchase this time. I spent like nights and days. I did not work for like a week. Finally coming out with, in Denver, Colorado, the car that you got to get is a Jeep Wrangler. Finally find a badass Jeep Wrangler. It's in Colorado Springs, and I'm like, this is it. Call up the dealership, talk to a sales rep, like, hey, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna buy this Jeep. He's like, you better hurry because everybody wants it. So I drive up there that day, do a test drive. This time I got a pre-purchase inspection. I actually ended up needing my mom to co-sign on it because at the time I was only making like $50,000 a year, and I was going to buy a $40,000 Jeep. It's kind of crazy, but it worked. Within a couple weeks, I put the car on Turo. The very first booking was a $1,300 booking. And I was like, hold up. Like, my car payment on here is like $700 with the warranty and everything. And then I just pay for insurance. But I literally just paid off the entire Jeep with one booking. And so I had the bright idea to, within the first month of owning that car, because the first purchase hadn't hit my credit yet, I was like, I'm buying a second car. So I go down my list that I crunched all the numbers on. The second best car in Denver is the Subaru Outback. So I finally find one. I bought that thing, put that up on the app, and that started going crazy. I was doing off of both cars. I just ended up being like, all right, these are Turo cars now. I don't even want to use them. These are now Turo cars. I started making about $2,000 a month in revenue off of each car. And all I had to do was bring the car to the airport and back. And so that's kind of what got me hooked on Turo. And it was kind of like a windy, weird little road. I had to deal with a burnt down car, my first ever used car purchase. But it got me to the point where I was like, hey, I want to figure it out. I want to figure out how to buy a car and not actually have to pay for it. It worked. So now we're here, and I have a full company based off that exact idea. Please subscribe. I'll try to be more consistent with these podcasts. All right, peace.